Hey everyone, welcome back to Purpose and Plans. I'm Brashana Miller, and on today's video, I am very excited to share with you some of the planners that I have finally made my way into. And I can say that I am super excited and I have no regrets. I am very happy with the things that I have. And I'm also going to show you some of the planners that I came out of. Now, just a couple of videos ago, I shared with you that there were some planners that I was using that just wasn't really serving me anymore. There was nothing wrong with the planners. It's just that it was a lot of metal. It was a lot of plastic. I was in some Sparrow notebooks. And while I do like Sparrow notebooks, it's not something that I would use often. Sparrow was not a staple planner in my planner system. But this particular year, I decided to just go into some Sparrows. And actually just kind of happened by default. I had a subscription box from Cloth and Paper. So I decided to just go ahead and use that. And then I just, for somehow, got bit by the Erin Condren bug and wanted to get one of her notebooks. And so I did. And I actually found myself in Spiral notebooks. I didn't intentionally say I want to be in a Spiral notebook. It just so happens that that's what I ended up in. But I knew that I needed a change because I was starting to feel a little bit detached from these notebooks. And so I made that change, and I'm very excited to share with you what I have moved into. And I can say before I do that is that these notebooks have given me planner life, if I should say. So I'm reaching for them. I'm excited to use them. And I really feel connected to these planners. Immediately when I started using these planners, I felt instant connection. It was an instant yes. It was like, this is exactly what I needed. And so, and the thing is, it wasn't so much about the planners as in the plastic or the metal, although that was something that was starting to become a bit of a friction point in my planner system. But it was also the layouts of the planners. The layouts are great. They worked fine. However, I just felt like the layouts were starting to constrict me just a little bit too much for what my brain was needing and the season that I was in and the way I was thinking and strategizing and how I was wanting to plan and write out my plans. The planners that I was using was kind of holding me back. And I'm in a season right now where I really need the space. I need the white space. I need the open space. I need the space to really allow my thoughts and the plans that I have for each day to really breathe. And I just feel like I was starting to suffocate in these planners. I'm going to give you a top down and show you what I was using before and then show you what I am using now. This is the A5 planner that I was using. This is the Cloth and Paper A5 Spiral that I got in the subscription box. I think it was in November. And honestly, I meant to cancel the subscription and forgot and ended up with the Spiral. I truly tried to refresh the planner before deciding to make a purchase. However, it lasted for a little bit and then that was it. I got the use out of it, definitely. It was very helpful. And then in the back, I used it for writing some video ideas. And then I even have a workflow. I didn't use this very much. And then also, I used this to write some devotional stuff. This was more for notes. I didn't really get a whole lot of use out of the notes page, but this did come in handy and it served me pretty good. Beautiful. And I liked how I refreshed it, but I just got tired of the plastic. All right, I'm gonna throw that to the side. The next one I used was an Erin Condren academic planner. You all have probably seen this notebook many times. Really great notebook, very cute. I like Hello Kitty, she's a cutie. I didn't stay in this as long as I stayed in my A5. I think my last time in this, okay, this is May. I have not used this at all in June. So this one was like my master planner, my weekly planner where I'll do my monthly planning. And then I would do some of my weekly planning. This was more my high level tasks, things that I want to focus on. And I did it by category. I'm not gonna go in depth because I do have a video that shows how I use this, but this got some pretty good use. Last time I was in this was pretty much in May. it was very nice. I enjoyed it. I used the back to track just home projects. And then I also would write a few things in here, like stuff I wanted to do for Christmas. I created my own list for things I wanted to keep up with family, things in the home, and an annual tracker. So this planner worked out well. I'm sure I will come back to it at some point, but again, plastic. The next planner, this is a happy planner, and as you can see, but I have it flipped. This is the reverse side. And this was more of a home planner, and I would keep just more reference stuff in here. I would do a little pre-planning, cleaning list. What's the seasonal home maintenance is just really big on cleaning. And so this planner didn't have a whole lot of stuff in it, but it was giving me the space that I needed, and I enjoyed it. But again, plastic. I can say I am feeling a little bit of separation anxiety. I'm not over the planners yet emotionally, but I am getting there. I'm feeling the loss of those planners. They were very beautiful and they served me so well. I feel bad for saying goodbye, but I have some new friends in town. And these are my planners that I'm going to show you right now. So this is the Rustic Rose. And for some of you can see, it's already kind of getting little scratches and all that stuff. But that's all a part of look at that. That's all a part of it. And oh boy. So anyway, the Rustic Rose, gorgeous, love it, no regrets, excited about it. So I'm just going to show you how I was using this planner. So I have the mid-year 26-27. This planner does not start until the end of June. So I'm not in this right now, but it's in here and I'm ready to dive in. What I was doing is, because at the time when I started using this planner, I didn't have a monthly in here, and the planner that my A5, I wanted to come out of it very quickly. So this is what I did. I just went ahead and printed off some monthlies, and I did my monthly planning here while I was waiting for my other items to arrive. So I would just do my planning on here, and this actually helped having it on a large A4 size paper, and would just put all the things and then highlight by person. And I also already went ahead and did July because June is going so fast. I was already making commitments in July. And I was like, I need to already see what I have committed before I continue to make appointments for July. So I needed to pre-plan July so I can see what is already in the books. And then I can create appointments and other things around that. So I've been keeping that in there, and that has worked out quite well. Now this is just a line paper. I didn't realize I wrote on the first page of the paper until after I wrote on. The excitement got me, and I just opened it up and started writing. So I've just used this as my weekly. This has replaced my cloth and paper A5 spiral. I didn't draw any format. I just went ahead and started writing. And that's what I wanted to be able to do. My brain needed the space to just let the thoughts, the plans, the ideas just come out freely without having the boxes to confine me. I'm not saying I won't ever use formats again. Actually, I will, because this planner has that, but it's so open. And I mean, look at the white space. It's gorgeous. And it's not divided up, all these columns. It's just here's, we're just going to separate the days of the week. That's it. And everything else is open. So I love that. All right. So again, I would highlight it. And then I did my brain dump here. I will go back to the previous week, see what I need to transfer, put that here. I wrote out just some notes here, meal plan again, just a really small one, because I plan to do my meal plans a little bit different. And then I just had a small section here for next week because I like to see what's coming ahead. I have 3 kids, high school, middle school, elementary school, and then there's me, and then my husband. And I just need to know what's coming up before it gets here. You know what I mean? So I like to see next week. So that way, if there is something that I need to reschedule, postpone, I can quickly see what days I have things already committed. And that way I'm not overextending myself on a particular day next week. And then I have to reconfigure everything. So that really helps having this next week here. I just went ahead and did that brain dump meal plan again. And I just have this space to write, to do whatever. And the thing is, I'm not forcing it. If there's something that needs to be written here, I will write it. If there is nothing that needs to be written here, I'm leaving it because the white space tells a story. And let me just tell you, white space is a gift, okay? White space is a gift. We need to appreciate this space here. We need to appreciate the white space on our planners. Sometimes it doesn't have to be filled up with stickers and washi. Sometimes we just need to see that white space and say, wow, look at this. Look at the gift that God has given me. It's called space, time for me to be, to do, to love, to see, to smell, to engage, to all the things. So I appreciate having this white space here. So this is just the lined notebook that I got with the Paper Republic. And I've been really enjoying being in this. And the pen that I'm using with this notebook is the Pilot Kakuno pen that I got not that long ago, actually. And I'm enjoying this because it's lightweight. This planner it has a little weight to it because of the notebooks and the size. And when I want to keep it in here, I just shove it right in there and it works out pretty good. Okay, moving on to the next one is, here we are. This is the Chic Sparrow A5 Austin leather notebook in the Emma color. This planner is answering the mail for me. Emma picked up the phone when I dialed. She picked up the phone and answered, okay? I love this color. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. Okay, so this notebook here is a monthly notebook that I got off of Etsy. And I love it. I love it. I forget Shelby Lee Co. There it is, Shelby Lee Co. If any of you are interested. And this was a monthly. So this is what I was waiting on. And I was using the paper, the A4 size monthlies to do my pre-planning. Now this notebook, because I got it in June, I went ahead and still bought the 2026. I did not want the undated because I learned about me that I don't like having to date planners. I don't mind it. I just don't prefer to do it. So I went ahead and got June set up. Just wanted to decorate it up a little bit to really start breaking it in. But I use this monthly and I just write a few things. This is not a brain dump area. This is more of, for the month, a couple of things that I just want to make sure I need to tackle. It's on the brain dump list as well, but I just also have it on my monthly just as a way to kind of reinforce that it needs to get done. And then each page after the month, you get 4 blank pages after each month. And that was fine for me because what I want to do, the way I like to think and plan and strategize for my months is I don't like to box myself into the same thing every single month. I just don't operate like that when it comes to how I live and just the things that I am focused on, how God is leading me. So I will, sometimes the months may look the same, sometimes not. So I didn't write it here because we were already mid-June. I didn't want to go and write all of this stuff again. I just wanted to get the monthly set up. But this is where I plan to, let me put a little sticky here. Let's just go ahead and do that now. What this is going to be, and I'm also doing it so that I don't forget, is this is going to be where I write my vision, my monthly vision. You all know that's really important that I write down my monthly vision. What am I envisioning and affirming? How am I moving throughout this month based on what God is speaking to me, where He has me? So this is going to be my monthly vision. This is where that's going to be started every month. And then, actually, I want to use a different color because I just like to. And then I am going to, on this page, the next page, and it depends. If I end up writing 2 pages of the vision, that's fine, but we'll see. But for now, I'm just going to do 1 page. We'll see how it goes. And then on this page, this is going to be like monthly goals, focus, things. So this is where once I get that vision download, we write it, make it plain. I'm going to run, as the Bible says, that read it can run. So I'm going to write that here, and then we're going to run over to this page, and we're going to get those goals written out. What are the things we're going to focus on for the month? All right. Once we get that monthly vision done, some of the things that I need to just focus on and need to think about when it comes to home, and routines, really. Let me fix this here. Let's do this, make it right. This is going to be hold on, you all. I'm getting a little irritated with this because I got stuff happening. There we go. Okay. So this is where I am going to do my monthly routines, things for me, whether it's routines, wellness, stuff like that. I need to make sure that I am giving myself the time and space to think about what is it that I need when it comes to my routines, because my routines for June will be different for July, or maybe it'd be the same. I'm not sure. But routines, wellness, self-care, ways things that I want to get into, like watercoloring and stuff like that. So this is just going to be the me, right? This is all about me here. We need that space for us, okay? And by the way, if you did not see my last video, it was a video podcast, and I talked about living in the margins, okay? Living in the margins, and how sometimes we let everything else, as an example, we let everything else take over our lives, and then we leave this much for ourselves. And that's not fair to us. And God did not create you in all of this, the uniqueness that you have, and the gifts, and all of the wonderful experience, all of the things that are inside of you and the desires of your heart. He didn't put those things inside of you so you could just live it right here. Here's all the space you're giving your purpose and your vision in your life. That's not the plan, okay? This is not the plan. Your life also needs to be on this page. And that is why, for myself, I make sure I like to highlight, because one, there are some things that are just non-negotiable that we have going on, but I want to make sure that when I am planning, that the highlights that are for me, like I see them. Like I need to make sure that I'm a part of the plan as well, that these are things for me, that you're not just giving yourself margin here, okay? And it takes time to come out of that margin. It takes time. It's not an easy, but there's a shift that has to happen from going here into the main part of the page. Okay, so that's just a little plug there. So my vision, my purpose, my desires, the things that I want to do are important. And the thing is, if you take time to write it down, give it a place in your life, give it a place in your planner, a page, not just a little sidebar, but give it a page. You can really start to see the difference in how you're showing up for yourself. Okay, this page here is going to be home, and that is primarily things like whether it's projects that I'm focused on, meal ideas, and things that need to just be done, like monthly home maintenance, I'll call it that. So that's how I plan to use these empty pages. But because it was middle of June, I did not feel like, honestly, I just didn't feel like, nor did I really have all the time to sit and go and do all of this. I have these things already laid out. I just wanted to get into this monthly here. But this is the intent for how these pages plan to be used, okay? And then we have July. So that's why I wanted this monthly, because this is like the high level of here we are, here's what's happening, here's how this is the vision and how we're flowing throughout the month. And then I have my weekly here, okay? Showed you this already. Now we are in the other part of the notebook. This is my daily section. These notebooks, just to show you, let me get one. So these notebooks came like this. I ordered these notebooks when I ordered the Chic Sparrow notebook. I went ahead and got the A5 so I could just have everything. These are with nibbin paper and they come like this. I didn't want all this black in my planner. So what I did was I got on Canva and just found some graphics that I love. I wasn't worried about trying to match or anything. I just wanted the planners to speak to what I wanted to feel when I go to that particular section of the planner. Okay, so here is how I have been moving in my dailies. Very simple, no format or anything. I've just been in it where I write the date and I start planning. I like to highlight the time sensitive things and then just things that I actually get done. So my first day in this was Monday. I was very excited to get in this planner here. And it's just all plain paper. And this I am using as my devotional journal. So that's what I have in here. This is like devotional journal, anything spiritual related. Bible, whether I'm learning something from Bible study, devotion, you name it, that's where this is. And that's why I thought this graphic kind of fit that purpose here. And then, of course, you know we can't leave her out, the If You Can Believe Vision Affirmation Journal. And then I just have a devotional pamphlet that I get every month from Charles Stanley, and these are really nice. And then in the back, I also am using this perpetual calendar, which I've been using as a tracker. I just draw the lines and just have it where it's personal, home, and movement. And I'm just keeping up with some things that we have going on so I can remember. And because it's very flat, I'm able to just slide it in there and that works. And I just keep this tucked away in here. And so I have these planners in here because this is like my daily working planners, right? I can see at a glance, monthly, my vision. And that's why I like this in the A5 and not in my big A4, because I'm not taking that A4 all over the place. I'm in that A4 a couple of times a week, but primarily weekly. And then when I'm doing my weekly planning, or if there's some other change I need to make, but I'm in here. So that's why I wanted to have my vision and focus and all of that stuff in a planner that I know that I'm going to be using often, every day, I should say. So that's that. Okay, so that is that. Now, thank you for hanging in there with me. We are almost done. I have another notebook that I want to show you. And this, here she is. I treated myself to the Starbucks Reserve Traveler's Notebook. When I went on my travels last year, what did I have? Plastic. I'm not going to go through this, but this was the cloth and paper Traveler's Notebook, and I used it. I did use it. She got used, not every day. And this jelly cover or whatever is stiff. I used it, but I knew last year, I was like, this will not be in the rotation anymore. I don't even want this planner anymore, at least not right now. I have no desire to return to it. It's no discredit to cloth and paper. It's just when I'm out, the thing is just like, I'm out and I'm trying to write, like I can't. It's just, I'm like, I have to do this to force it open. And then when you close it, it gets like that. And then it doesn't even stay. Then I got to do it again. I don't like that. So I had to replace this. I wanted something I was going to be able to keep long term. So I treated myself to this Starbucks Reserve Roastery notebook. This is the camel color and beautiful. I got it off of eBay. I've had it for about a month and I just got into it yesterday. This is going to be my beverage journal. I'm a coffee drinker, big time, and I love black coffee. And I love espresso. And I decided that I wanted to start doing a coffee beverage journal. And I've already put a few things in here. Like I have this is actually like a little library sticky just as an index, coffees that I've tried. Maybe, we'll see. And I just started adding some stuff in here, just some old stuff that I had over the years. And I was like, I want to just put something in here. This is from Cafe Beignet. We went to Miami and I got the dark roast from the House of Colada. I also had a local Potomac roasting company, a spice and tea. So just little things in here that I plan to add to. I just had some stuff that I wanted to finally put to use. And I may spend some time writing if I don't remember, which I know I don't, because this was 2 years ago. I do not remember what this tastes like. I do remember enjoying it. That's all I know. So I may just add some decor. And then I have my traveler's journal that I'm going to use for my travels. And I decorated this yesterday. This was just random stuff that I had, bags and things. So this is what I'm doing here. And I've just already added a couple things. I plan to just go back and write a few things. And then I'm going to continue to update it with my current travels. And then I just have a blank one in here. I'm not sure how I plan to use it, but that is the plan. To show you again where we have the A4 Paper Republic, and then I have my A5 Chic Sparrow, and then I have my Traveler's Notebook Starbucks Reserve TN. And this is what is in my system, the planners that I'm currently using and how I'm using them. And I can say that I feel so much better now because, again, it's not just about the tool, but it's about the space that I have given myself to think, to breathe, to plan, to write, to dream, to imagine, all of that when it comes to what God has for me. And I think that the colors, look, the colors are beautiful. They're beautiful together. When I look at them, it just makes me happy. And you want to be happy with the planners that you're in, from the outside, the look, the feel, what they are able to do, how they're able to serve me. I can say that this is what I needed. So if you are still hanging in there with me, thank you so much for watching this video. And until the next time, live full and live faithful. Bye.